This is Susie and I, and say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
And we're here talking about basically what's happened here with the whole alien agenda of getting the information out there and the word out there. So many people just want to charge a buck for this stuff, and I don't know. It's my opinion that they probably shouldn't be charging for. I mean, I understand it costs money to run these shows, but not everything should be charged for this stuff. It should be probably word of mouth and do it like we're doing here on a web camera. What do you think of that? Seriously.
I understand that there's charge for, you have to rent I guess like a room or somewhere where you can bring people to speak, and you have to pay the light bill and things like that. But at the same time, to get the word out there is priceless, I think, because it's the truth, and the truth, as they say, shall set you free.
Okay, people do need money, okay, and it does cost money to run these things, but okay, let's eliminate the fact of people charging for this stuff. Let's go right to the agenda that okay, the government's deliberately trying to cover this stuff up, and they don't want the word out there. And to me, I think that's not cool, and it makes no sense why they're doing that, other than they're getting information or secrets, and they don't want to share the secrets that they're getting from these
A lot,
beings.
a lot of people believe that. A lot of people believe that the government has traded with the ETs, or aliens, for technology. And that's where a lot of our military equipment has been coming from. At least that's what a lot of folks think.
Well, and I agree, but that's the problem. Is they're trying to control things, and when their form of control really comes down to controlling the entire world, and they want to control all these different governments want to control the world. Okay, and the bottom line is it really is coming down to the bottom line because that is all money to them. I mean, that's what it is. They want to rule and have the most and be the richest country in the world. When shouldn't it be? Don't you think instead of building walls against one another, we become more global and actually working toward one another?
Absolutely. Global, everyone getting along is necessary before we're able to communicate properly with the ETs and to be able to advance, evolve.
And the problem is it's not happening.
Well, it's not happening because everybody needs all this money, because because things cost. And to be able to get along in the world, you got to be able to pay for stuff. And that's the ETs. More than, the ETs can teach us a better way to go about it without ripping the planet apart, without all the greed, without all the trouble in the world.
Okay, I feel that the world governments don't want them to help. They don't want them here. That's what I think, because that would mean that they need to,
The world wants to control. Talk about President Trump's Space Force is a step in that direction to be able, I mean, instead of space communications, or it's Space Force, like the U.S. is going to take it by force. They're going to take over the universe.
I personally don't like any of the politicians, as you know, and I think that I don't even I don't I'm not into politics personally, and I think politics are the biggest reasons why this country has been driven to the ground. And advanced races have tried to come here and have tried to intervene,
Help us out.
and they've been okay. Battle LA. Okay, I keep referring back to that one, but it was a typical thing. Okay, they could have they could
1942.
yeah,
Yes.
and they could have advanced with this information from these ETs, but instead they decided to attack them. And when the ETs never fired first, the military, the U.S. military fired on them first, if I'm not correct.
Yes, I believe that's the case, yes.
Okay, and when the craft was down, and all they were more interested in is getting the technology of that craft, when if they actually worked with these beings, they'd probably get a lot more than just the technology of a craft. It seems like there's a battle going on between these powers to be and their politicians, world leaders, religious leaders, and the bottom line is there's too much of this going on to where it's causing the problem that there's no advancement for us and there's no help from other races because, well, these beings are being pretty much chased away and attacked when they come, and that's not cool.
No, it's not.
I mean, realistically, what do you think? Do you think how should the government? People say they want the government to basically.
The government, the government needs to be redesigned. It's certainly not what our, this is for the United States, about freedom, and certainly we're having our rights taken away every day, and the government needs to be retooled, or as they say on TV, rebooted. It needs to be rebooted.
Okay, that's just our government.
That's what I'm
So,
saying.
so what happens to the other governments? There's other world governments that are.
Yeah, well, the other world governments, all the governments are fighting against each other. We're going to end up as humans blowing each other up.
Okay, and that's the problem. Okay, that's all they want is that technology to be able to hurt people.
Yes.
They don't want technology to help people, and that would be the best way to go. Is if you had the technology from these advanced races to actually help people do better, heal them, get cancer cures for diseases, and maybe
that'd be wonderful. But the governments and humans want to charge for that. They want to charge for the medicine. They want to charge for the information.
This is a very big, convoluted issue, basically,
Oh,
is
yes,
what
it
it
is.
is, and it's become a major problem, and this is exactly why Earth and the inhabitants of Earth are stuck where they are. They're in a rut because the world governments haven't done anything to try to work with them. They've tried to. What's going on? We have people who are out there, as we've spoken of in another episode, who are trying to get petitions against ETs. Okay, and well,
that's just silly.
Well, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, realistically,
could be a better use of time.
But that's what the people want. A lot of people want this. They want the government to basically, the world governments, to protect them and keep these beings away. And the bottom line is,
they're incapable.
They're incapable of actually doing that. So instead of trying to keep them away, understand that when you're weak, you're weak. If a person is weak, like an old person, so unless you're just like if you're an old person, sometimes you see these old ladies who say, "I'll take care of him, Buster," and they go on and they're like, "I'll take care of this." When the reality is, it's the same thing. The United States government and the world governments are weak compared to these extraterrestrials, and they're always trying to battle with them. Wouldn't it be much better to possibly get along and then maybe get rid of all the monetary involved and actually living here and traveling to other worlds and within the cosmos? And it's not costing anything?
Yes, we would need to be able to get along with each other first before we're able to get along with the ETs and other global, not global, excuse me, but universal.
On a universal platform, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, because the way it is now, we're running out of resources in this world. If we were working with other worlds, we'd have more resources. We'd have more of everything now. We'd just be better off. So I think we all need to start working together on this and basically get this hooked up. So
we all need to start working together, period.
Absolutely, we're not. Humans are not working with aliens. But anyway, I want to broach that subject with everybody, and it's an agenda that we all need to start looking at. And we all need to basically start, especially with this agenda here. There should the only cost that should be involved is the cost of actually doing the getting the word out there. Okay, I
putting on the show, putting
right,
on the production.
Right,
yes.
Right. Okay, the bottom line is it's really not about the I hate to say this, it's not to mitigate anybody else. It's not about an abduction. It's about what you've gotten out of your events with these beings. That's the most important thing out of it all, to be honest. Because people say they've been abducted, and, that's really cool. You can hear one abduction story after the other, but they aren't accomplishing anything. The bottom line is, what did you learn from these beings? What have you picked up? How are they communicating with you now? Or are they just raping you when they get you in a craft? I mean, I don't mean that literally, but basically, are they raping you and doing procedures? I mean, I think if we actually worked out to where getting along with them, these you understand what
Experiments would end.
yeah, maybe the
That'd
experiments
be
would end.
great. Yeah.
But anyway,
For a lot of people, that'd be true relief.
absolutely. We'd all like to wish you good night and thank you for joining.
Good night.